Okay, so it's like, you know, second week, third week of February. It's 75 out. And this is my boat. This is one of my boats right here. This is a Hobie Wave catamaran. And one of my main objectives is to get this on the water this week. And basically what needs to happen is, ideally I would get the trailer into a little bit better shape. I have another trailer for a Hobie 16 that's over that way. But this boat is I bought this because this is the perfect boat for me, and I bought it in August. And one of the reasons it's great for me is because it only has one sail on it. You have a mainsail, you don't have a jib. So for me starting to learn and just get the process and get a rough draft going of me sailing, there's not a whole lot of having to work a mainsail and a jib. I've done it before. It takes a good skill set. There's a reason not everybody does it. But and then also these hulls on this thing are solid. These are like rotomolded hulls as opposed to fiberglass, and these things, are like tanks. And then we've got the trampoline right here. I've had this boat looked over. They said the boat was in excellent shape, excellent condition, but the mast is broken. I got a new mast for it. It's a 14, and that needs to get fixed. So the mast needs to get basically modified. From a Hobie 14 to be able to use on the rigging of a Hobie Wave. Beside the mast, I remember the rigging on this boat was slightly different than most waves. It was a little bit shorter. I have it written down. And again, I don't have experience with all of this stuff, with pretty much any of this. So there's so many things that need to get dialed in for me just to even get going. And but here's the mast that I broke right here. I'll get another shot of that. So all of that needs to get cleared up before I even get the boat onto the water. And this trailer is in kind of rough shape, but I also have a trailer over on the other side of my storage unit lot that's in better shape. But as soon as I get this going, I'm going to be renting these out as well too. I started a sailing company, and there's a big gap in the market where I am right now. And I'm super business oriented, and also I want to give people good adventures. The company I started is Florida Aqua Adventures. It's registered, but I'm looking to get really good, really quick at this boat. But the barrier of entry for me doing that, ideally getting a trailer in better shape. I could use this for the time being. And then the mast that I have, it's a 14 mast. That needs to be basically modded for a Hobie Wave because mine broke. And then the rigging needs to get put up. And it's not, stepping the mast is also pretty gnarly. But now that I'm thinking about all these things, it's not that much. But that's basically what needs to happen in order to get started. And I'm going to walk over here real quick, and I'm going to take a look at my Hobie 16. So I'm walking across the storage facility. So here's my other boat here. This is a Hobie 16. This has fiberglass hulls, and here's the extra mast that I got. This is a 14 mast aluminum, not the piece of shit carbon fiber tips, or the is that what they have? The fiberglass, the comp tips, those pieces of shit. This thing's a solid piece of aluminum. This shit, they don't really make these anymore, but this is this is for a Hobie 14, and it needs to get modded for a Hobie Wave. And this 14 mast was hard to find, and I only have one shot at modding it because the cuts need to be pretty much perfect. But here's a trailer. This trailer's in better shape, way better shape than the other one, but it's set up for a 16. So basically I would need to take these things that the pontoons sit on here, adjust them for a Hobie Wave, which is a process, but you know, it's a better trailer. I don't know what I want to do yet. If I could find a really efficient way to just move those rollers over, what they call these. This is a modded boat trailer. This thing's really heavy duty though. And then this 16 here is in pretty decent shape. There seems to be a bit of delamination here. And yeah, so basically here on the right side of the hull, a little delamination. I don't know how big of a deal that really is. This other hull in great shape, you know. And see, there's no delamination on the Hobie Wave. This trampoline also in spectacular shape. It doesn't have a mast. I would need to get a mast for this and some rigging as well. I have one of the sails, and I think I need a jib sail for this. I wonder if you could sail this without a jib. But this boat is way more technical than the Wave that I have. This boat, you know, it's way faster. It also requires a jib, and you know, sailing I feel has been like a dying thing, because if you're comparing this to like the barrier of entry of this to like a motorboat, it's I mean, you could rent a motorboat to somebody and they can get going. To be able to like work a sailboat is next level. I mean, you basically need to be knowing ropes and knots and rigging and wind and tides, stars. But once you get all that going, then you're on the adventure. And that's why I named the company Florida Aqua Adventure. And on top of all this, I have these boats set up at a storage unit on trailers. Usually for people that have these type of catamarans, they leave them somewhere that they really don't move. And these boats, stepping the mast is crazy. That's how I broke the other one. But in breaking it, it showed me that like, hey, make sure all of your rigging is amazing and in tight, great shape before you get on the water, because if something breaks on the water, it's way more of an issue and you're in a serious situation as opposed to finding that out on land. But this boat also needs some lights. So this boat would need lights, and it would need to have the rollers adjusted for the Wave. Or I could just use this 16 for a while, which would be crazy. That would get me going too. So I have a few different options to get rolling on this, and at the beginning of the video I'll post what needed to get dialed in. And if anybody wants to help me, that would be awesome. This is ideally a two-man job, but if not, I'm gonna put it on my own back and just learn myself, because that's what I've been doing. And you know, it's time to get these on the water. Shout out Florida Aqua Adventures. But yeah, these need to get on the water this week. Okay, yeah, but basically once I get these boats in operating condition, it's going to be a huge lifestyle level up. I'm going to be able to rent these out, take them on adventures throughout Florida, take them on adventures throughout the United States, and get back to the Florida Vibe style documentary, take my dog out, take women out, and just all in all have a really good, fun, wholesome, soothing addition to my life and a new hobby when it comes to sailing. I've been working on this for a little bit now, and now this week I want to get it dialed in and take it from concept to action. And make thoughts become things. So that's what I got on the docket this week. Get these boats in water ready condition, get them on the water.